With this video, I want to try to make aware these people who go fashion and are materialistic and possess things of value. Those things don't make you better. They don't know the privilege they have. They don't have to fight to survive and eat every day. The hunger is one of the leading causes in the poor countries, while the people throw the food because they don't like it. Those people know the poor people are dead because they don't eat. What countries are the most affected?
I think the countries that are more affected in the hunger problem are the African ones because of the lack of government, lack of state, and also the lack of the weather. In the way that the sub-Saharan part of Africa is really desert and a really desert territory because of the lack of mountains. So the clouds don't stop because of the mountains, so they go on until the Arabic part of Africa. So this leaves the country without agriculture, or maybe some agriculture that cannot feed all the people in that region of the continent. The other thing is the constant war in those territories, except for South Africa and Botswana, I think. Also Lesotho because it's inside of South Africa. So all these wars, all these weather conditions, the European colonization heritage that affect the that I mean it's a consequence because of the lack of government, the lack of states, made this territory um, unavailable to feed the people because it has so many problems that don't make solution and they don't even care about feeding the people. Plus, the other part of the hunger problem is that when the UN want to send food help, the same states, the same guerrillas, the same different militias don't allow the United Nations to send those food to help and feed the people. It's the same that happened in the Black Hawk Down episode when this Somalia warlord didn't allow the UN to drop food. So I think that's another problem. And I think also that hunger problem helps those groups, those warlords, those dictators, those presidents to remain in power and control all over the territory.
Where do you think the problem are born?
I think the problem of hunger was born in the 19th century because of the European colonization around the world, and in the way that they struck all the resources to Europe, and they left the African countries, the Asian countries, and the American countries with a limited source, a limited supply of recurse to to feed their people. That means that in Europe and in the US, in those countries, you can find all the resources to supply the hunger of the people. But in the countries I said before, the American country, the Asian country, and the African countries, there is not that that way of feeding people because of the lack of recurses. Even though the resources of food in Latin America are more than European ones and the Asian and the American ones, our resources are cheaper, but the best resources of food goes in exportation to Europe, still going to exportation to Europe, to America. So that's one of the problems that in Latin America the resources are a lot, but the good ones goes to another country.
Where do you think the problem are born?
I think that the problem starts with the corruption in a country because they are in charge of the distribution of the resources along the territory, but instead they keep the money that go for the more vulnerable areas.
Okay. How many people suffer this?
1 in 8 persons around the world.
And what countries are the most affected?
Afghanistan, Congo, Nigeria, Sudan, Syria, and Iraq.
And why do you think this?
Because most of these countries are in situation of violence, and this affect a lot. This affect a lot in the enter of resources.
Okay. What actions could be taken to address this situation?
There are many organizations that have as mission to mitigate these situations, like the Red Cross, that provide support according to their needs. Like in this case, is food. So we can help them donating that food or whatever we can, or money.
Which do you think will be a solution?
I think that the people have to make aware about this problematic and do something about it, like donating or pressionate the government to give the support that this population needs. The biggest causes of the hunger in the world are the natural disasters, armed conflicts, exploitation of the environment, and the poverty. This is caused by the bad governments. The World Food Program says are more than 1 billion hungry persons in the world. Please, people, make aware of this problematic.